Welcome, fellow armchair adventurers. This is Gamer1745 here with an installation guide for Baldur's Gate Trilogy, the Enhanced Edition. All of that is very key to this. This is going to be a first in a series of videos on installing mods for Baldur's Gate. So, because this is the first, and that you, if you're going to be installing it, you will want to refer back to things, be able to, so you should subscribe to the channel now for this and other upcoming videos, which will compare various installs and how they're set up. Also, which you might like here, is I have the longest series of Baldur's Gate Let's Play videos, over 400, well 485 right now, but will be more than that as time goes on. Really bad at first, I'll completely admit that. One of the first things I started and still doing started back in July of 2015. So you can see we have lots and lots of videos. If you're at all interested in watching Let's Plays, this is done on the Classic Edition, we shall call it, but much of that is still the same, so you may want to look for things on that. So, alright, now let's get to installing. So you've subscribed, right? So you know where to find this channel to do that. Okay, so what you should do is move a copy of Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition and Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition to a separate folder, from whether it's the Beamdog install client or through Steam. Find your location. I do this on my D drive, which is my larger storage drive, to have enough room for all this stuff. But copy, did I say move before? Well, copy a copy of the games. I would highly recommend it. You don't have to do that, but I would highly recommend doing that so that you don't mess up your installed games. For me, it is much easier and quicker to copy over than to uninstall and reinstall the games and go through the process. Okay, so get it installed. I put them both in a subfolder here, BGEE. Okay, now then you want to get a copy of this. Links will be below in the description. If there's any missing links that you do something referred to, just ask for them in comments below, and I will add them as people ask for things if I forget. So you will want to get this file, extended mod setup, which is really or EE mod setup, which is really an installer. The title isn't the best, and so then you will want to extract here with this or WinZip, and it creates this folder. I already had it here. So now here you have the folder. I have pre-downloaded a bunch of the mods, but we will be going on whether, and I wanted to go from the very beginning, whether you've used it before. Obviously there's a readme here file if you want to read through things, but we're going to click here on Start EE Mod Setup. This is the first time it's running this. You pick your language. Of course mine is English, that's what I'm speaking in, so we want to continue. Had to hit that twice. Okay, oh well, actually we need to go back. Sorry, I've forgotten. I just recently did a practice install, and a month or so ago I did a major install for my own use. This drop down menu, you need to pick what you want to do. Do you want to do Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition, Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition, Enhanced Edition Trilogy, and that combines effectively Baldur's Gate 1 with all of its DLCs. It integrates Baldur's Gate, the Siege of Dragonspear, and it integrates Baldur's Gate trilogy, or Baldur's Gate 2 with what had been part of the trilogy, but is now just sort of an extended, is the Throne of Ball, as you can see down here. So you can does that. So when you do that, you'll get all of those integrated into one if you have them, and if you're buying them on Steam, you should be. You can also do Icewind Dale, Enhanced Edition, or Planescape. We're just going to be looking at this. So, right, so you pick the one you want. Okay, now, this is important. You need to select where your Baldur's Gate 1 Enhanced Edition is. Because we are doing this very organized, we can see where they are. Here and here. And we also have the downloads. If you want to have the downloads in a different location, different folder, you can specify, but that is what we're going to do. Now, again, translations. Some of the mods do come in other languages. Some of them originally started in other languages and they have English translations. Sometimes you can really tell. You can understand them, but the English isn't very well refined. Now with this setup tool is based on the old Big World setup, which we will be looking at that in a future video and comparing some of the stuff. So again, if you haven't already, please subscribe. So if you want to find out about using the Big World setup to install the Enhanced Edition, it can be done. If you want to look at using Big World setup to install the earlier Classic editions, we will be looking at that too. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any presets. Presets of what mods to maybe install. So we're going to choose mods and components. So you need to come here and it's going to go in. It needs to go in and it is dynamically looks for the current mods that have been added to the various files that will allow that will work together with this. So we're going to expand this to get this a bit bigger. And you will want basically all of these. These things are various tools to make everything work together as one. Corrections. Okay. Red means, well, as you probably already guessed, danger. This mod is temporarily marked expert because it installs, or because of installation errors due to missing wizard removed magic shell IDS. So there are potential problems with red mods, so you might want to avoid them. So the fix pack is there to fix various things. Item patcher, if you want to go through that, and we will be quickly going through a lot of this stuff. If you want Jim's fixes and tweaks, you can go through here, click these. Nightfarer's patches, you can see what they are. Yeah. And this is a list of currently compatible big mods. I would, from a gameplay perspective, Region of Terror got me to rage quit years ago. So that there are some really good aspects to it, and there's some really sort of not so good. So I wouldn't do that. I have not played Vampire World in my install because, and you could see whether if you want to try it, go ahead, but realize meet the trilogy, joinable, some romanceable. Note this mod still rated thus as expert. It conflicts with something else, so it may work fine for you, it may not. We don't know until. Oh, and some of these expert mods may work fine on some versions of the setup, meaning there may be conflicts there that haven't been defined. Quest mods, there's a lot of them. Mini mods, NPC mods. Now this is going to be a walkthrough, so we're going to smaller NPC mods, NPC related mods as defined. So tactical mods. These mods particularly make the game harder to play. So if you're having trouble to play on the basic levels, don't install those. Rules and tweaks. These tweak the game in various ways and manners. Some to make it more like old classical advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Others try to make them more like 3rd or 4th edition or something, elements added to the game. Stores and items, artificial intelligence. Again, generally these are making the game harder. Character kits. These add a lot of character kits, often newer kits that weren't around in the original game. Dungeons and Dragons. Let me say that correctly. Dungeons and Dragons game at the time, and these are various graphic ones. Okay, so we need to pick some mods. We will go with check the bodies, Dark Horizons. Warning, press always to enable free selection. So we're going to press always to enable free selection. Northern Tales, we're going to skip this. This Sendara Saga. This is a 3-part saga. It spans... I have not played it in any real meaningful way. I've sort of started it. You need to have this one NPC in your party basically the whole time, and it spans the whole, you know, all 3 major parts of the game. I've heard good things about it, but we're going to skip that for the moment. Shadows Over Soubar. That is another good mod. The Darkest Day, compatible installer, and then the Darkest Day itself. So we're going to grab all those. Now, quest mods. Going mostly from what I know. Dingo's quest mods, dungeon crawl, these. I think we're going to skip that because I think there's some conflicts there. Now let's put that in. Inner Shade, Lower Mage Stronghold, Reunion. Okay, we get to go back to the ants. I don't know. Keep in chapter 9, so later on. We're gonna skip that. The Grey Clan episode is a good one. Don't know that one well. The White Queen. 'Twas a slow boat from Karatur. Unfinished Business in the Vault. So we're gonna pick those. Some mini mods. The Calling. We're gonna skip that because it's red and I don't know what it is. Weasels. So we'll do those. NPCs. Well, let's get a few. I like Alora and Amber. We'll also get we can do Corin. Finch is a good mod. Fade is good too. It's marked red here, so we're gonna skip it. That's good. Obviously we can get more, but we don't need to. Just smaller NPCs. This one adds Will O'Hara from the Northern Tales. Shar Steel for SOD. Yeah, we'll do that. NPC related mods. Romantic encounters, if you want to do that. You can pick which ones or just get all of them. Banter packs is really good, so that's highly recommended. Oh, we'll skip that for this. No, we'll do that for the moment. Cross mod. MON friendship. See, like MON friendship adds a friendship track for MON, that kind of thing. So these aren't new NPCs, but just adding more depth. So okay, so there's some NPC related mods. Now tactical encounters. We're gonna pick these, which particularly make it harder. Let's get that. These are all very good from Coast Stratagems. Very good. Improved Oasis, that's good. So those are some good tacticals. Okay. Rules and tweaks. Tweaks. I think we will go with that one. Yeah. And we'll automatically, if it's green, we'll click check the green ones. Banter Accelerator for Enhanced Edition games. This is particularly good if you're going to be swapping out NPCs a lot, so that you can get through their stuff. Otherwise, it'll take a long time to get through their dialogues, and you might miss things. Let's do Coast Stratagems. And let's close this up. You don't have to, but so let's just grab some of the stores here. Let's go with that. And prove fiends. Better calls for help. Character kits, as we looked at before. Do you want to add, like Divine Remix adds various character kits, often from later editions in the game? I'm not going to add any of those for this. And here, okay. You need the world map. That is a necessary one. Throne hammers. Now, okay. You can do restore the classic movies or show all movies option without the need to unlock them in the game. Graphics overhaul. Avoid it. I tried this on one install. This mod extends night areas missing some, adds missing mini maps. It also fixes 90% of the visual stupidities in the city. It can also create a lot of, if I'm thinking of the right thing, I think I am. Sorry if I'm not. But I think that was the one that added, it made the graphics actually look worse in many of the places. So stay away from that. And is there any... yeah, stay away from that. Yeah. And you can patch it to give different, your preferred portraits to the NPCs, whether like use the Baldur's Gate 2 images or the Baldur's Gate 1 or some other versions. Now, come down here. Oh, well, is there a... There's high quality scripts. Clips. These are various components to enhance the UI of the game, core component, different spells. I'm going to skip most of those for this one. Hidden play gameplay option enables the debug mode, and that. So let's just click on that. So we'll do that now. Okay, now that we've done all of that, again, this is going to be a bit of a long walkthrough. We hit the back button. Now, this comes up and tells us our conflicts or requirements to to our current set of installs. So let's see, reveal hidden gameplay options needs. We need to go, let's go back. Reveal hidden gameplay options. So, oh, needs this one. All available options, selected options. So we could just hit all available options or selected, but you need to select one of those too. So now, didn't we just do that? Okay, so we can go back, and so if we were to do selected options, that would be okay. So that removes all those other ones that require this. Now, increased hit dice for this, so we can click here, or we can click here, and we can remove this component, or we can solve the dependencies. We're going to remove that. Okay, unfinished business has a conflict with Northern Tales, Sylvia's Torment. So, yeah, we can remove this component. Okay, accelerated banter's timing tweak. So we're going to, we can remove the mod if you want to, but we're just going to remove that component to remove the conflict. And I was expecting this expanded thief hold to have conflict here, so I was going to do this. So we're going to remove the component. Okay, so now we have a customized games to install. We've removed any of their known conflicts and made sure we had all the dependencies there. So we will hit the continue button. Now, what you want to do is you can test, and you should test availability of the downloads. So what this does, this will go and get or go check to see if it can find all of these mods in their latest version. You can, of course, at any time jump forward through this while we're waiting for these various processes to happen, and there can be times that it will take a long time. Okay, so these selected, okay, so we have a summary. These selected downloads are deficit. Okay, so it's not finding the correct, what it thinks is the correct version on some of these. So we're going to hit continue. Now we're going to test present mods. What this will do is go through, because I showed you earlier the folder in which I had a bunch of stuff, and so it's gone through. Selected mods are missing from the download folder, including archives with unexpected size, which are probably old versions. That is a key thing, because I know many of these, if not all of these, are in the folder. Now, one thing to be aware of, which are probably old versions. That I don't think is the main thing, unless you have an old folder full of earlier downloads. There may be as likely as not newer versions you have than the ones that they're looking for. So the size doesn't exactly match up to what it expects. So we'll hit continue there. Okay, so we can rerun checks again, list required URLs if you want to, but we're going to continue here. So we've tested this out. So here we can do report missing mods, remove missing mods automatically, report and download after. I have not made it when if you do no download, only report missing mods, it doesn't seem to want to progress. So we're going to report and pause after download. Then the extraction logic, we are going to report and pause, which is report missing mods and pause, so we know what's going on. So if we wish to stop it, we can. And we are going to report failed installation. I think we're going to leave it at that. Okay, so we're going to hit continue here. Again, this may take a long time. And so you may want to jump forward to when this bar gets across here. Because the mods I had are slightly older, as in 4 weeks, 5 weeks maybe. Some of them very well could have an update to them since then. And if you're doing this for the first time and do not have pre-downloaded a bunch of mods, it can take a long time depending upon your internet speed. You know, in the olden days, kids, could be days, but that's in the olden days, at least for me. So what it's doing is it's seeing that if it has the right one in its download folder, it's skipping them, but when it's not, and it can be in essence trying to download 5 mods at once. Some of the down locations have max speeds and maybe slower than what you can download them at. The music is Baldur's Gate complete soundtrack being played, and I figured that was appropriate for how to install Baldur's Gate. You can pause this and then resume if you wish. Okay, so the following mods could not be downloaded: Shards of Ice, the mod itself, Expanded Thief Stronghold, Mage Stronghold, the Vault. Okay, so let's go to hit for P for provide and hit enter. Okay, so is missing, so we can hit D for download and hit send enter text, and on my other browser it pops up here. I'll show this here. There is an error with the database. Gibberlings 3 and Spellhole Studios are currently down at the time of, and have been down at the time of making this video. I do believe it will very likely be back. So we're going to look at the next one here, which is a Dropbox. And so we're going to see if we can download that one. And I'm getting a 404 error from that. And so we're going to hit the again, and another 404, meaning missing if you don't know. And again with that. So those are all okay. Please continue. Press C after the downloads are finished. So now hopefully it thinks we've downloaded them, because again I believe I have all of these mods in the system, and I believe they are. Oh, send enter text. Okay. Installation should be able to run properly. Missing mods which are needed can ruin the installation. Check if you need the mods which could not be downloaded for safety reasons. The mods will be removed from the install list and will be ignored from now on. Hit R to remove missing mods or E to exit. Yeah, we'll just hit remove for this occasion. You can exit and try to find the mods, but we're going to hit R and send that. So we are paused here, and we're going to hit resume. And so now it's going through the extraction process. And we are paused again. Testing if extraction is possible and needed. Pausing after. Okay. Resume. Okay, all steps to launch the installation are done. The setup immediately begins the real installation by the single Windows setups. Okay, so basically here you can interrupt installation safely as soon as you press the exit button if you wish to. So if you're going through this and it's a long process and for whatever reason, you can interrupt it safely and get back to this. Okay, so this is merging the Siege of Dragonspear in with everything, DLC in with everything else. You need to own the games for it to do this, but it will basically copy everything and merge it into the game. And yes, I am browsing Twitter right now on another monitor while this happens. Okay, just look down here. Paused after installation. Okay, so we need to resume. I am paying attention mostly. Okay. Testing the extractions for position pose. Okay, we're going to resume. So that is the extraction. Now, all steps to launch the installation are done. The setup will immediately begin the real installation by the single window steps. So we've extracted it, uncompressed it. Now it's going to start the actual installs. I am still here, but I presume you have skipped forward to a more interesting bit. I'll see you when I get there. And yes, I'm still here. All right, we've got to this. Component requires smarter mages to be installed. Make freedoms scrolls there. Earlier was skipped. If a component was skipped during the install, this indicates or a conflict or dependency that's missing in configuration. Either a similar component is already installed, thus missing the message is harmless, or the component depends. If you don't want to continue after your analysis, you can stop the setup now and resume from this point later. So, okay, okay, it was skipped. Make freedom scrolls available earlier was skipped, so that is fine. So we are going to go with continue. Oh, make sure I'm here. And enter that. And we rock on. And similarly, component requires smarter mages to be installed. Remove red wizard component was skipped. Okay, so we're going to continue. Now, of course, you can go back and, because we skipped a few things because we couldn't download it, you can make sure that you get the files, look around on the internet, or you know, make sure you have the right components or make better choices, and if you wish to do so. But for our purposes here today, we can just skip. All right, it looks like we are coming to the end of this now. You may well have jumped to the end to see what there more was to do. So it says the installation is complete, and now we can exit, hit the exit button, which we couldn't before. So the installation is complete. Now this should be ready to play. A couple of things. Again, if you made it this far, you should subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. Would help everybody else out there to, if they're looking to how to install the mods. Now I am planning more videos on this basic topic. One video I'm planning is a comparison between Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition versus Baldur's Gate Classic Edition, side by side gameplay to judge on the thing, on which you might want to do. But along with that, what is key to me that we will also look at in a different video will be comparing the Mega Mod, as it was called back in the day, between what is doable with Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition versus Baldur's Gate Classic. There are more mod options for Baldur's Gate Classic. Unfortunately, the main install method is through the Big World Project, which is more complicated than this, but we will be taking a look at those so you can make your choice up of which version of the games and what you want to play. Now, to give everybody the signal that this is sort of complete, we're going to exit out of this. And we're going to come over. This wasn't here before. We're going to come over here and click this. And single player, new game. We'll go with a guy. And we'll go with him. Class, we'll just go with basic fighter since that's what he looks like. Yes, basic fighter. Alignment, we'll do neutral good. Abilities, we'll re-roll. There we go. That's a good, see total down there. I do like that about this. He doesn't need that much wisdom, but some more dexterity, some more constitution would be nice. And we can also reduce that down. That's actually a pretty decent fighter, but we'll reduce the wisdom once more to that. Skills, longsword, let's go with, where's Warhammer, and sword and shield type, and appearance looks fine to me. And
to battle and victory!
Let's use the default, though you can see here you have BG1, BG2 sound sets of various types. Name, gamer, and accept. So, venture forth.
Nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast, the citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection.
We're going to hit done. Okay, so again, we are planning more videos, so if you want, like I was saying earlier, just because you may have jumped to the end of this and with the change here, if you want to see a comparison between video Enhanced Edition versus Classic, as well as another video on the different mods that can be installed for the different versions of the game. And please, if you have other questions, suggestions, tips that you think should be included, post those down below. They can be very helpful to people. What do you want to see in other videos about this? Please do that, and will help me in making more videos, because I could easily do a part 2 to this. If you have other questions that I could try to answer, or somebody else can answer, so please take a look down there and make comments. Thank you so much. I hope you have great adventures with Baldur's Gate. I'm gonna click out of this and we'll stop here. Thanks so much.